Welcome to Celebrity Exposé, Michael Jackson.
You deciding to get back into making music.
I never stopped.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, right. That's good, yeah.
Our exclusive visit with Michael back to work in the studio.
Thought it'd be interesting to collaborate.
Can he capture the magic again?
What does it mean to you? Oh, I'm very honored and I love them very much.
Jackson's amazing journey. How did it all go from this?
Oh, wacko jackal. I hate that.
And what's Paul's problem with Michael?
And it turned out not to be a joke, so I just went, okay, Mike. As you can hear, we're on the train to Neverland.
It was Michael's personal paradise, our trips to Neverland then and now.
It's very eerie to be here now.
Once the richest entertainer in the world, is Jackson truly close to broke?
You're talking about an iconic artist.
Those he inspired.
Really changed my life.
And 25 years later, the return of his masterpiece.
If you went back and took it to a second chapter.
It's a great idea.
But believe it or not, how Michael nearly buried his Thriller video.
He said, no, it's bad. And his lawyer ordered it destroyed.
Do you feel you have enough?
Celebrity Exposé, Michael Jackson.
It has been 25 years since Michael Jackson's Thriller was released and went on to sell 104 million copies, making it the best-selling album ever and turning Michael Jackson into a legend. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Celebrity Exposé. I'm Tony Potts, and tonight we will take you through what has happened in the 25 years since Thriller. Exclusive interviews with Michael's closest confidants and colleagues, and how Michael went from being the most recognized entertainer in the world to living in the shadows. Plus, our exclusive with Michael back in the studio, new images of his children, and his road back to the top, starting with the re-release of the album that made him a phenomenon and changed the face of music.
There was nothing ever bigger than that. That is the biggest album ever. People love it. If you went back and took it to a second chapter.
It's a great idea.
Thriller, a global phenomenon.
Is that the first time you've heard of it? I mean, like, or have you thought about that?
No, I haven't really thought about it in that way, but I will give it more thought.
Imagine Michael Jackson revisiting Thriller, the biggest selling album of all time, for a new generation of fans.
We haven't really discussed it yet on that level, but I'm sure at some point we will. But it's a great thought.
I feel like I'm a collaborator here.
Yeah, you
I
are.
might get a credit.
Yeah, you are.
Imagination has now become a reality as Michael Jackson and Sony Music released the 25th anniversary album of Thriller with the help of will.i.am of the Black Eyed Peas.
25 years later, there hasn't been a more impactful artist than Michael Jackson. Not in record sales, and ain't nobody ever gonna outsell him.
As for the original album,
it impacted to the magnitude where the people that were influenced by Thriller are now mimicking Thriller. If you wanna do the best show ever, 9 times out of 10, somebody's gonna be doing a Michael Jackson move or 2 or 3 or 4.
Michael's iconic status has resonated into epic proportions as Ebony magazine had the rare opportunity to photograph the King of Pop for their issue in December of 2007. 25 years after Thriller, the enigmatic Michael is seen by most only through the eyes of a camera lens or possibly their favorite MJ memorabilia.
I remember having my Michael Jackson button. It was this purple little button that I used to wear with his face on it. I had a huge crush on Michael Jackson in 4th grade.
Fergie's love for Michael has also gotten her a spot on the anniversary edition.
I was really excited because Thriller was such a huge part of my childhood, and anyone who grew up in the same generation as I did knows that that was a huge album.
A huge fan of Beat It, Fergie jumped at the chance to remix the 80s classic.
It's basically a duet. You know, we used Michael Jackson's vocal, and I just tried to sound as much like Michael Jackson as I possibly could. You can't beat it, so I just figured why not just try to emulate him and really honor his sound that he did. And he liked it. He told me he liked the gritty sound in my voice.
With the likes of Fergie, will.i.am, and artists Akon and Kanye West, Michael's in good company. The album will cover the old songs along with remixes and a few new tracks. But exactly how can one make a Michael Jackson song better than it already is?
It was difficult to remix the stuff because you don't want to hear a remix. It's like just me. I don't really want to hear a remix of a Thriller song. You know, I like Thriller. I know Thriller inside and out. I know what it meant when it came out, and I know what it still means today.
Like all decades, the 80s is known for its bad hair, bad outfits, and new music sound. But according to the album's producer, Quincy Jones, it's Thriller which stands alone today.
Well, all you do is go back and see what happened in the 80s. That's my case, you know. It's I don't think any music has ever covered the planet like nobody in the world ever covered the planet like Michael did, from 8 to 80.
Not only has Michael permeated the music world, he has also set the tone for dance with his influential style.
If it wasn't for Thriller, I don't think I possibly never would have started dancing. I mean, that was the first thing I ever saw of dance. When I was 2, by 4 years old, I had the whole thing down. It was all I did every day. So Thriller was the beginning of everything for me, no doubt.
Choreographer Wade Robson, known for his work with NSYNC and Britney Spears, recalls the day he met the king of pop.
I mean, I don't know if I can get too introspective about it because I was 5,
right.
But it was incredible, obviously. You know, the first time I met him backstage after one of his concerts in Australia, and then the next time I saw him was on stage with him.
As for the video that inspired Wade to become a dancer,
and still, it's just so relevant. You'll be hard-pressed to find a better dance video, a more monumental change in pop music, in creating really the modern format of music videos. You know, it's just so revolutionary and still so relevant. It's crazy.
You know, Thriller shattered records, put music videos on the map, and changed music forever. Quite simply, it was Michael's masterpiece.
Where do you think that album stands in the pantheon of music in the world?
I think it stands almost by itself.
It is the best-selling album in history, staying on the Billboard charts at #1 for 37 consecutive weeks and winning 7 Grammys. Thriller inspired a generation of new artists like Justin Timberlake.
You're talking about an iconic artist who's inspired a whole generation, not just myself.
You know, I always loved Michael Jackson. I love him. You know, he's always a major factor in my career because I feel like I always watched a lot of videos and stuff that he did.
I mean, Thriller changed my life.
It was just a turning point in music for us. When we saw Michael do it, we all wanted to be Michael Jackson at one time, to the point where I still got my red jacket inside of my closet.
He's paved the way for a lot of young people like Usher, Chris Brown. I'm not really a dance fanatic or anything like that, but he also was a great singer. So just in that right, I think that Michael Jackson is very historical to us all.
To be able to influence people like myself, other up-and-coming artists, you know, I hope that in maybe in 25 years I could do the same. But definitely, Michael Jackson is an amazing icon and will always be known as the king of pop.
I think my favorite video of all time would have to be Thriller. That's probably my favorite of all time. I remember when I was younger and it came out, I was scared.
That video was, I remember I was at school and everyone wanted to know how to learn that dance. Everyone was like, we'd get into school early in the morning to put Thriller on to try and do that dance. I mean, when he turned around, his face was changed and he was all gaunt with the makeup. It was brilliant.
Thriller transformed how the world saw music videos.
Michael changed the world, man. He changed the world. He let everybody know it's okay to be a kid, and even if you're not going to be a kid, to be imaginative, you know what I mean?
When I first heard Thriller, I think I was just all the way in love with Michael Jackson. And I just want to say, Michael, I don't care what anybody says about you, you will always be Michael Jackson in my heart. I mean, Thriller, the actual song was like, I cut school to see that video.
That video rocked MTV when it debuted in 1983.
He and MTV rode each other to glory.
They did.
That can't happen again.
It was the first time, I think, that we had like this mini movie that was choreographed to music that went past the fact that we're just doing a music video to sell this song. This was a Michael Jackson production of like everything that he was.
I think the choreography, I think the cinematography, I think if you look at where videos were at that time,
even where films were at that time, to put something like that together at that time was something that really blew people away. Really took a lot of heart, a lot of imagination, creativity.
Now coming up, the making of Thriller, untold stories of Michael behind the scenes, and later only on My Network TV, Michael back in the studio. Our exclusive footage of the King of Pop at work on his new album. Then, how much is Michael worth? Some reports have him broke, while others say he's a multi-millionaire. We are breaking down Michael's fortune when Celebrity Exposé returns.
If anybody else had done that, it would have just been a mediocre, video. But Michael, he really took it to the next level.
You know, the next level is an understatement. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Celebrity Exposé. I'm Tony Potts. It was actually a level Michael Jackson created. We're talking about the 14-minute video for Thriller. It was the most expensive video of its time, costing $600,000. And now, 25 years later, the untold stories of what happened behind the scenes.
The most important thing about the Thriller video to know is it was no one's good idea. What Thriller was Michael wanting to turn into a monster.
In 1983, the director of American Werewolf in London took the call from the King of Pop.
I was in London, and I got a call in the middle of the night from Michael Jackson, who I thought, Michael Jackson, from the Jackson 5? Basically, he saw an American Werewolf in London and was taken with the metamorphosis.
John Landis agreed to direct the video for Thriller, but he knew it would be monstrously expensive.
So my deal I made with Mike was to make a short, just to be shown in theaters. Michael said, we'll get, CBS to pay for it. And he called Walter Yetnikoff in New York, said, hi, Walt, here, talk to John Landis. I take the phone, hello? And over the phone came, like, the foulest language, like screaming at me.
Landis eventually did get the nearly $600,000, a huge budget for a music video at that time. Filming took just 3 to 4 days, and Jackson's trademark look came together effortlessly.
My wife, Deborah Naduelman, was the costume designer of Thriller, and she designed that jacket for Mike, and she designed... Michael was funny, he said, he wanted to wear white socks and his black loafers. And Deborah said, great. And he was very surprised. But the reason she said great is it's a group of people, and how do you get him to stand out? You give him a red jacket and white socks.
But the music was an issue.
If you listen to it in the soundtrack in the movie mix, and totally different than the record. Although what's amazing is both Bruce Swideen and Quincy Jones, who both refused to let me, they said, you can't recut it, you can't change it. Totally have never said anything, like they didn't notice.
After finishing the video, though, Michael was not happy.
He was being given a lot of pressure by the church about this video, and basically said, okay, I can't do it, it's a bad thing. I'd already made it, He said, no, it's bad. And his lawyer ordered it destroyed, the negative. And I went, wait a minute. George and I went to Technicolor and stole the negative. I mean, it was very dramatic.
So a compromise was made. A disclaimer ran before the video. It says, quote, due to my strong personal convictions, I wish to stress that this film in no way endorses a belief in the occult.
It was really fun. It was very entertaining. Michael was really hardworking and really enthusiastic. At that time, he was such a huge star that it was quite surreal to be with Mike. It was like being with Jesus.
The groundbreaking video also featured the famous and subsequent well-parodied Thriller dance. We caught up with the main dancers turned zombies for exclusive stories of what it was like working with the King of Pop.
These are the gloves. This is one of the pair of gloves that I wore in Thriller. These are the teeth that I wore.
Sugar Pop, whose real name is Stephen Daniel Silva, was one of the lead dancers on Thriller.
This is me right here in full makeup.
Now, he got the job after dancing on the Beat It video.
And this is how they look.
One of the reasons that I think that the Thriller dance resonates is the choreography, of course, and the way we shot it, and the electricity of Mike and the song, but it has a lot to do with how good those dancers are.
Jackson's main dancer in the video was Ola Ray, a former Playboy playmate.
She had just such the greatest smile, and she was so cute. And I said, Mike, I'd like to use this girl. Everyone was freaking out. They go, you can't tell her she was a playmate. Can't tell, you know. I said, why not? Mike, she was a playmate. Well, okay.
But no matter what, no one compared to Michael.
John Landis, the director, got on Michael about lip syncing, about it not looking real. Michael started singing, like the hair on the back of my neck and my arm still rises up when I think about it. I mean, they had, you know, big 6-foot speakers out there and all kinds of stuff, and he was singing over the music, and it was scary. Scary in a good way, but scary.
All right, coming up on Celebrity Exposé, a My Network TV exclusive, our 5,000-mile journey to Michael Jackson, back in the studio making music. But which star producer did Michael choose to work with? Then, Michael Jackson Madness, his grand entrance, signing autographs, backstage. Only we are there every step of the way for Michael's return. It's next. June 13th, 2005, Michael Jackson emerges from the courthouse trained and pronounced not guilty on all 10 counts against him. Now, since then, he's been all over, Middle East, Europe, and Las Vegas. But it was in Ireland where Michael Jackson made his return to the studio and invited us along.
So this is really kind of an exploratory mission. You deciding to get back into making music.
I never stopped. I'm always writing potpourri of music. You know, it's how it is.
Relaxed and ready to return.
Let's hear it.
That is the Michael Jackson we found when we journeyed more than 5,000 miles to this classic old Irish estate outside of Dublin. The Stone Estate is built to rock with a state-of-the-art recording studio. But it is because of the beauty of the emerald landscape why Michael chose to be here. Michael is on the search for fresh sounds, and Black Eyed Peas leader Will I Am is the man.
Will, you were telling me a little earlier, you got a phone call on the tour bus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Someone said, Mike's on the phone.
I was like, no, come on, stop playing around. Yeah, I didn't know it. Thought somebody was joking.
So this is like, this is baby steps of just checking out what may be a collaboration or some work together.
Yeah, yes.
Why Will?
Because I think he's doing wonderful, innovative, positive, great music. Thought it'd be interesting to collaborate or just, you know, see how the chemistry works. Be wonderful.
This is like a dream come true for me, you know.
Does he take your advice well?
Yeah, we, yeah,
No,
we.
It's like, you have to take advice from the king of pop.
I like to take sounds and put them on the microscope and just talk about how we want to manipulate the character of it.
Will brought something new to the table while keeping the classic Michael sound firmly intact.
Living off the wall, them kind of streets.
Oh, yeah, off the wall, yes.
Them kind of streets. This is crazy.
Now, if Michael likes what he hears, he will add his own musical touches. But for now, the two work the board, weaving out a sound tapestry layer by layer.
We'll pretend we're technically inclined.
Don't you doubt his tech savvy. Michael knows his way around a recording studio and our new digital camera.
That's a beauty. But you can edit within the camera.
Film me.
So
Can you operate it?
I don't know. Okay, yeah.
Are you a technology?
Love it. Yeah, I love
the
cameras.
action.
And yeah, love it. It's a beauty.
Yeah, that's light.
What's the price of this one retail?
$6,000.
Wow.
But what really impressed Michael, Will's music.
What'd you think there?
Very, very nice groove.
Yeah.
I like the chords. I like what you did.
That's a club banger.
Yeah.
What they call that one.
Will's beats are infectious, and an enthusiastic Michael could not contain himself.
Do you see something big with the music that you make again, or getting that groundswell going? Doing clubs and intimate things and then getting it bigger and bigger and bigger?
Gee, I'm not sure on that level.
That from a fan.
Go ahead.
Big. Something needs to put a jolt back in the music industry. And the only thing that can do that is the jolt itself. The energy that sparked the imagination of the kids that me, You know, the Justin Timberlakes, we're all products of this. So the only person that could put that joke back in it, to that monstrosity of entertainment and music, is the one who created that.
Michael, I would love to hear what you thought of Justin Timberlake or something like that, because he's the closest thing to Michael Jackson, I think, today. You know what I mean?
I think Justin's doing a wonderful job, as well as Usher, and it's great to see. I'm inspired by what they do, and I'm sure I've inspired them, and it's very nice.
Coming up on Celebrity Exposé, Michael Jackson Mania. Thousands of fans, hundreds of media. What brought Michael Jackson out in public for the first time in more than a year? Only our cameras are there for Michael's big comeback. Then, is Michael really broke? And if not, why does he have Paul McCartney to thank for his fortune? Find out next.
It just comes. Songs just kind of create themselves, so I don't want to dissect it really. I let it happen.
That is Michael Jackson in 1986, picking up a Grammy Award for We Are the World. Welcome back to Celebrity Exposé. I'm Tony Potts. You know, the chances of Michael Jackson ever reaching those heights again are slim. But no question, he has his diehard fans worldwide, and we witnessed their fanaticism firsthand.
The fans been waiting a long time for Michael Jackson to arrive. He's just gotten to the World Music Awards. What's going on, my man? As always, every step of the way in London, total chaos. I am 2 feet behind Michael right now, caught in this chaos. It is amazing. They have been waiting to just catch a glimpse of him. Fans are going crazy out there. They've been out here a while. What does it mean to you?
Oh, I'm very honored, and I love them very much.
Security is tight here, but when it comes to Michael, security is essential. Outside of Michael's hotel, the security is supreme. It's a combination of London Bobbies, hotel guards, and Michael's own personal security team. Inside, Team Jackson occupies 2 floors.
Go see your fans, Michael. They're loving you.
And with that,